The Secrets of Star Wars is brought to you by the Star Quest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give.
Hi, this is Vanessa Marshall. I play Hera Syndulla on Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to the Secrets of Star Wars podcast. May the Force be with you always.
Hello there.
It's a power that Jedi have that lets them control people and make things float.
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
It's against my programming to impersonate a deity.
That's not how the Force works.
Force is with me, and I am with the Force, and I fear nothing.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Hello, I'm Kathryn Laffrey. You're listening to The Secrets of Star Wars, where we look into the deeper themes and meanings found in the story's characters in a galaxy far, far away. This week, we adventure along with Crosshair, Omega, and Batcher in the 4th episode of Season 3 of The Bad Batch, A Different Approach. Please follow The Secrets of Star Wars in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or your favorite podcast app. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook.com/StarQuestMedia, on X at SQPN, or on Instagram at StarQuest Network. Joining me today is Josh Beeghley. Hi, Josh.
Hello, hello.
And we have Ryan Nafziger.
Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for joining us. So just real quick, I want to hit off with maybe everyone get a one-sentence first impression. So just kind of a quick little overview. Josh, what was your first impression?
The new card game.
New card game, all right. And
is
Ryan?
It not Sabacc? Oh man. Okay, I have to give mine. Oh man. I would say, wow, they're back together so early.
Right? Yeah.
That's mine.
For me, it was team player meets the loner. Just kind of the vibe that whole thing had. So just to recap the show, Omega, Crosshair, and Batcher, my favorite new character,
correct.
After escaping Mount Tantus, crash land and need to find transport off a crookedly controlled Imperial world. Omega takes the lead on this mission, showing off all the skills she's picked up along the way. And Crosshair uses his one sniper skill of patience to try to figure all of this out. The show ends with the team reunited. And back on Mount Tantus, we did have a scene with Hemlock questioning Nala Se about Omega's blood results. So first off, that one little scene with Hemlock and Nala Se, what did you think of that, Ryan?
Oh, man. I'm really interested in where this whole storyline plays out. So I'm super into the storyline that's being explored in Batch. I think that it's actually been done really well. I think it's interesting. I still really, I really don't know how to think about / treat Nala Se, because she has I still haven't decided whether or not she actually cares about Omega, because
really?
Kaminoan cloners are sort of notorious for their amoral side, and I find it very strange that one would care so deeply for Omega. I really, really hope it's because Nala Se just actually really seriously cares for Omega. Not that Nala Se is going to betray Omega and do something terrible or something like that. But she seems to have had every opportunity to stay on. So I feel like I can finally, trust Nala Se. Kaminoans are so weird. I just have such difficulty with believing anything they say.
Those faces are hard to read.
Oh, the voices are the worst thing. The voices almost give me cringe hands.
What do you think, Josh?
I don't see Nala Se as this mean person that you're sort of portraying her to be. I mean, I see her as somehow Omega's the only thing she actually cares about. It's a master and what they created, their, I don't know what it's called, the technical term for their Yeah, they're like main art piece that they have. Okay. Magnum opus, that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And like Omega is sort of the height of that. I don't think she would ever do anything to actually hurt her. But I think Dr. Hemlock is an interesting character, and he sort of just knows everything and can put two and two together pretty well. Of being like, okay, you've been lying about Omega and whatever she's special about, whatever that may be.
Yeah. The thing that always gets me is right before he talks, he's always rubbing that gloved hand of his. Oh,
I gotta know.
Right?
Is it prosthetic? Like, right? Is it an Anakin hand? We need to know this.
It's like, did he cut off his own hand to do some experiment? That's what I want to know.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if he attempted to clone himself with his own hand.
Okay, that's gross and creepy at the same time.
It's so cool, though. No. Loyalty to the Empire. I'm going to clone myself from my own hand.
Yeah, his sinister left hand, no less. So it's like,
the sinister hand.
Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I love Nala Se's response because the ultimate scientist that she acts like, she gives him a science answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's an outlier. These things happen, you know, and so it's like, okay, yeah, she's trying to like play it off like just one of those unusual things that happen in a science experiment where something's just, you know, off the scale as far as what all the other readings are. I was like, okay, good play. Let's see how it works out for her. And then, so now we go back to Omega and Crosshair. I didn't quite catch the name of the planet. Someone might have said it might have been
said. Let me look it up here. Lau is the planet name. Lau.
Okay, so I think I saw that this is the second reference to Indiana Jones using Lau.
Oh, really?
And in Bad Batch, because in season 2 they had like a bar fight scene that exactly mimicked the bar fight scene in Indiana Jones in Lau's place or whatever hit that.
Which Indiana Jones?
Oh, Temple of Doom. Like the worst.
Oh, the one I haven't seen.
So it's interesting. I think I've seen side-by-side screens of the second episode or the second season of Bad Batch where they had this play out. And it is literally seen like mark for mark through the scene, the big bar fight. So it's kind of interesting that they're playing back into that again.
Well, considering Dave Filoni's hat choices, he does seem to be an Indiana Jones fan.
Okay. Oh, there you go. So what'd you think of Omega trying to take the lead?
I thought it was funny, but it also shows how much she's matured and grown in actually being able to lead the group now. And I thought it was funny how she's just pushing Crosshair aside. He's like, that's not how you should be doing this. He's telling her the tips along the way. And like how he could easily do it his way. I think it also speaks about Crosshair. It's like he could easily just be taking over and doing everything his way. But he's actually giving Omega a chance to like learn and lead people.
I hear if you like watch just his comments during all of that, it's like 90% complaining or grumbling. And the big like sigh when he just was like, fine, I'll follow you. It was awesome. So that was really good. And then, speaking of crazy pets, so Ryan, you're worried about your cat scratching through the door, but
yes.
How would you like to have a Batcher trying to get through that seat?
Well, my cat is doing a very good job of attempting to interrupt me, but the door has been keeping him at bay. I love that Omega, wherever she goes, she does seem to find a friend, and I love how they've brought Batcher on. It's so interesting that Omega managed to teach Batcher like whistle or like vocal controls in like not that much time so far as we've seen, which is the force sensitive speculations in the water. We're not sure how things work exactly in Bad Batch. We're not sure exactly how it works with Omega particularly, But not everyone can attune so quickly to beasts and that sort of thing, which she seemed to have. Is there other times in the Bad Batch's running where Omega's done something like this? I'm trying to think.
Oh, yeah, the Rancor, the baby Rancor.
Yeah, that's true.
And then what was that other little pet that kind of looked like a cross between a parrot and an armadillo and a lizard?
Oh, yeah, that thing. I don't remember its name. It was a cute. It was a cutesy name. I can't remember.
It was a cutesy name, though. But
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, she does really well with animals. So it's like, okay, it works out nicely. But I mean, she did have a couple months with Batcher before the Great Escape.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's good. Yeah, and that escape was something else. I mean, their ship getting punched out of hyperspace. Mm-hmm. And then the crash. I thought it was interesting as they were coming in, the landscape was so jagged. My first thought was, okay, how does this end well, trying to land in that? Mm-hmm. And then they kept showing it in the background around the city. And I don't know if you've ever seen, I think it might be done in some icons. I know it's definitely done in a lot of medieval art, where it shows Christ pulling people out of hell, like the jaws of hell. It's a big, wide open mouth. Oh, and it has jagged teeth like that. So it kind of had that same feel, like they're like, down into the jaws of hell sort of thing.
And if you want more on that, we can look for Secrets of Sacred Art.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to do a promotion. Trying to do a promotion on the slide.
Wow. Plug it in, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Go listen to Secrets of Sacred Art, which you should actually just watch on YouTube because it's amazing. And if you're interested in art history, specifically Catholic art and sacred art all over the place, check it out. Commercial read over. I will accept my royalties after. Just kidding. I don't get anything from this.
Get a check in the mail. No. Aha, yes.
Anyways.
So any other interesting tidbits that you saw in that whole adventure with Omega and Crosshair?
Josh, what was the card game?
Yeah, card game. What did you see there?
Yeah.
Oh. So after the whole episode came out, I think it was like the next day on Thursday, something Star Wars posted how essentially their developers created this card game and they actually played it in person and they really enjoyed it, and then they sort of made it into Star Wars. And yeah, I don't know, it was just really cool because also it basically looked like a mahjong type game, and then for some reason there was those 3 stars of the East, or the 3 Eastern stars, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And that made Omega win the game. But she essentially gambled back the money, or gambled in somehow to start winning money without having money to begin with. Don't know how that works, but
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Didn't she bet something crazy, or I thought she bet Batcher or something like that?
Am I
misremembering?
Wow. I know. I kept wondering what kind of collateral does she have? A crash shuttle? I mean,
I don't know.
But yeah, that was interesting. There's a little concern, she's into the whole gambling thing, but then again, she spent all that time in Sid's bar, and this place was a lot like Sid's bar.
Yeah, and she's done it in the past. She got really good at it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, the one vice she seems to have is stealing clothes. I don't know.
She has to get her. She has to recover her lost years of playing dress up in early childhood somewhere. So that's where she's getting it.
It's interesting though. Those clothes, the design had a strong resemblance to the clothing that you'll see in Rogue One and
yes,
A New Hope and a couple other places. So it was neat to see that development.
Quilted crosshatch thing going on. Yeah.
Omega's hat.
Yes, the hat. Yeah. Well, it looked so much like her normal hat, which was really fun. With her when she used to have the bow.
I really like Crosshair's headpiece personally. I feel like that was unique.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. It was kind of ugly, but
fair enough.
It was interesting because the clothing really changed his personality.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of did, yeah.
Because it almost like you could see him like soften up a little. So it's like he's a little more receptive to, okay, I got to work with this kid now, you know, where it's like, what, in season 1, he's like, you're taking orders from a kid. And now he's actually going along with her crazy schemes and plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out what was going on. I mean, the little guy outside the bar, he seemed familiar. Yeah. Oh. So I was like, reminded me a little bit of the boys that were in that mining facility.
Oh, yes. That was the connection that I was thinking of. My mind immediately went to either that or some like really out there connection with like the that one creature on Corellia in Solo, a Star Wars story that Han was working for. Like, I don't know. I went like that sort of a deep cut, but it was interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I wonder how he's going to come back into the story, because you don't just have like dwelling shots on a character in Star Wars without him coming back into the story somehow.
Yeah. And then what'd you think of, is it Captain Man, the Imperial officer?
Oh, yeah.
The very thick neck.
Yeah, like, I don't know. He was built in a funny way. I think it was really interesting that I think it was more so interesting that they gave him a non-traditionally dressed stormtrooper as one of his enforcers, because I don't think we've seen it, because like it really wasn't shown on screen as if it was like a trooper variant. You know how you have like a dozen or so trooper variants in Star Wars? This one would just look like someone wearing non-traditional clothing, which I thought spoke well to the kind of like it was almost as a way to show how, well, the Empire's here, but you don't exactly know how much of a foothold it has at this moment, you know. Very similar to how, like, the opposite end of the spectrum during the Imperial Remnant phase in The Mandalorian, how you have like dirty stormtroopers and like repaired stormtroopers. It's kind of like things are just getting started, you know. We're just barely, Empire's just barely starting out, but already you can kind of tell that things are going to grow into the good old Empire we know and love so much from other Star Wars material.
So what do you think of Captain Man, Josh?
I thought it was really interesting to see him becoming essentially the crime lord ruler of the planet, where he basically can go in. He doesn't care what people are doing as long as like they pay their fees, you know, they pay to gamble. He basically doesn't lose. He's all to profit in the area too. And it just kind of shows that corruption, I guess, in the lower levels of running an empire, how easily it is for them to be like, oh, no one's going to notice because on the planet I can just get you fired or shipped off somewhere else, and then I can just keep working and making my money.
Yeah, he seemed to have his hand in everything going on there. There was a fee and a fine for everything. So it was, yeah. And
like a mini Jabba the Hutt.
Maybe that's why he's got that thick neck like that.
Oh, yeah, that could be a connection, yeah.
It's very Jabba-esque in his dealings with everyone. So then after, you know, well, first of all, they needed all this money because they had to get off the planet. And Omega is using every trick in the book she has. So now she's decided she's going to see how well she takes the controller takes a bribe. So what'd you think of that plan?
Was a funny conversation they had. She's like, "Are you saying that I would take a bribe? Because I do."
Yes.
And yeah, just Omega trying to be like this, you know, girl. You know, she was trying to be like was, oh my goodness, who did she love hanging out with? Who lives on the island? Forgot her name.
Oh my gosh, yes. What is her name? I'm gonna look it up.
Because that's what Omega reminded me of when she was talking. She was trying to be like her. Fee. That's it.
Yes. Fee.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you can tell she's, in the bar, she acts like Sid. When she's trying to cut a deal, she's acting like Fee.
Yeah.
And even when she was landing the crash shuttle, she reminded me of Tech.
Yes.
I think it was like the same pose.
Yes. It's like she has learned from all the people that her brothers have, given her as role models, and she is putting it to good use. Yeah.
So yeah, she gets all the money so she could bribe the transport officer. But then trouble ensues when Badger goes missing. We're stolen away, of course, by that nasty Imperial officer. What did you guys think of the collection of crates that they had going on? Josh?
I got reminded a lot of, like, what was it called? Like Zookeeper or something, where, like, all the animals get to, like, run loose going wild. I love seeing that and then just seeing all the different creatures. I did notice that I heard I don't think they're called purples. It's the birds that were on Ahch-To in The Force Awakens and the sequel trilogy with Luke Skywalker. I heard you hear like their distinctive like noise they make.
I didn't catch that. Whoa, that's cool.
It was like as soon as they transferred into like that actual animal keeping zone.
Yeah, there's so much deep dive you could do just on the soundtrack alone with all the sounds. I had a lot of Jurassic Park vibes from those scenes.
Mm-hmm. And even the crates are pretty similar to the ones they had in that. Now I think about it.
I'm pretty sure that the big crate had a Borgullet from
The Last Jedi?
Not The Last Jedi. It was the Borgullet was from oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. Rogue One, actually. Saw Gerrera had the Borgullet that could read minds, and I'm pretty sure that the thing with the tentacles was a Borgullet. Or alternatively, it was like what is called a Rathar that Han was hauling in his ship. I can't tell, but it has weird tentacles. Yeah, I don't know if it was a Rathar or Borgullet, but the Rathar seemed to have really, really, really thin tentacles, and the Borgullet had like long things. So I'm not sure, but do a community poll. I don't know.
I just wondered, like, what are they doing with all of them? What is the big market? And are they sending some of the strange ones to Mount Tantus for whatever unnatural things they're working on there?
I don't know. Are they? They're not all from the planet, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be,
An Empire Zoo.
Empire Zoo.
The Imperial Zoo? Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, when they finally cracked open all the crates and had them running everywhere, that was
classic.
Just a great scene.
It's a classic Omega thing to do.
Yes. Yeah, she's always trying to help the animals and everybody get along. I thought it was interesting that she kept always mentioning wanting to go back to Mount Tantus, and I was afraid they were going to. It was right after the crash where she wanted to go back into the ship and get a hold of the nav computer or something. She's like, we got to be able to get back to Mount Tantus. And Crosshair's like, no. Like, he was still out for himself, and she's still trying to. We should have, saved more people.
Oh, that's right, because she wanted to save the clones. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think she'll try to go back?
I mean, I think that she's going to convince. Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair to like storm the castle or something like that. But I'm not sure why exactly. Like, I don't know if Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair are going to be like in it to save the clones, or if they're going to discover something more sinister that they're like, all right, we're the only people who know about this, and we're going to have to stop it. I don't know which way it's going to go. Or, and don't want to get my hopes up, what if Tech is in this facility somewhere. Hopefully.
That'd be interesting. What do you think, Josh, about the Mount Tantus issue?
Yeah, I agree with Ryan on her needing some sort of convincing argument to also get the rest of the squad to actually show up and, go back to the planet. Because she's probably also thinking of Nalase, making sure that she gets safe and away from all these experiments and harm that they could do to her. But there just needs to be more motivation for the rest of the group to go, because the only thing I can think of would be is if Tech was still alive. Mm-hmm. That would be, the last person in their group, get the group back together, and then go off back on your adventures.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way that I think they could try and pull that off would be with Tech's goggles that they still have, or like any of the technology that he still had that the Empire found and took. And then sending out fake messages. But that's just me speculating.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking too, they might call in Rex and Echo. Yeah.
That could be. I mean, they would need a lot more help. I mean, Mount Tantus is pretty fully stocked with troopers. Mm-hmm. And so for just that small group to go in there to try to get people out would be crazy. And then the other thing I worry about is because from the original Timothy Zahn books, when we were first introduced to Mount Tantus, this was a very secretive, private location. And now you have a lot of people that know where it is and how to get back there, as far as so it's like, okay, so that means they all have to die, or something's going to happen that, Mount Tantus isn't going to be there anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm holding out hope. See how it works out.
I'm just thinking back to the whole cloning operation that we've seen in the Star Wars media recently. And I'm wondering if Tantus gets destroyed, there's a couple remaining facilities elsewhere that exist. Because Fortress Inquisitorius had all of the Jedi on ice, and I'm pretty sure they're using some of that blood in the facility. But and then there's the facility on, what was the planet in season 1 of The Mandalorian? I don't remember what it's called, but that planet had the actual cloning facility as well on it. So it's cloning still happens, maybe in isolated places after they learn that after Tantus gets destroyed, something like that, where they have to separate their whole operation out. But either Tantus dies or others die.
Yeah. What do you think, Josh?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm thinking about Gregor coming into this and having to fight against them, because we saw him in one of the trailers.
Okay.
That would be the last of the Rebels trio of troopers.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you think Gregor
I sort of agree with Ryan still on there being more than just this one location. The Emperor's pretty concerned about this project. I'm sure he has backup places and backup people if he really needs it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and obviously something has to work out eventually with Snoke and him coming back at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
We're filling in that plot hole.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time.
Josh, do you think that, I had a thought. I think it escaped me. Oh, I remember now. Do you think that the right-hand clone of Hemlock is Gregor?
What?
No.
Wait, no, because Gregor escaped, right? Never mind. Gregor escaped.
Gregor is currently a commander. He has the blue glasses. He's one of their specials instead of an ARC trooper. And he has a bunch of heavy duty armor, so he may have gotten some buffs. Maybe some enhancements, but
yeah, well,
I don't know.
Didn't he escape in late season 2 of Bad Batch?
Yeah, I thought they helped him escape.
They fought against him, I thought, but I don't think he escaped.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
That was a rescue operation there. But The thing that's interesting in all of this is you got all this obsession over Omega's M count, and yet, by the time we get to Mandalorian, they're going after Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, something happened between Omega and Grogu that now the Emperor's got a different target. So,
yeah, it makes me wonder if they're looking to like do like a replication process where they do like where they just clone things forward until they get a high enough M count for the Emperor or something weird like that. And they were probably trying to start with the clones, and then they realize, oh wait, if we find Grogu, dang, we have a really high M count host, and if we can make that work, boom, we're like, years forward as far as progress goes.
Interesting.
That's my theory, that they have to do it slowly because they have to basically roll life forward slowly.
Like work through a couple generations.
Yeah, they have to work through generations and get the M count up if they're going to do the cloning process.
Or even if it's something backwards where they need someone like Grogu who has a high M count to basically like take it out of them and put it into somebody else so it could increase.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And we still have a couple characters that we have to see yet.
Oh, yeah. Who is the mysterious figure in the facility from episode 3? Remember?
Oh, yeah. He looked like that assassin, like similar to that assassin from season 2. The one that tried going after the senator.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So there's more of those assassins out there?
Maybe. I'm holding out that was Ventress.
Ventress, really?
Yeah, I think it was.
Wasn't she in one of the trailers?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine her working on Mount Tantus, though.
I think she was trying to infiltrate Tantus. I don't think she was. I read the fact that she was behind and was getting in the character. I read that particular character was trying to infiltrate Tantus, and that was the reason.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm really excited to see how they work her in, because that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so they make their big escape, thanks to the animals going crazy. And then off they go, and we have big reunion. So, what do we think of all that?
I'm still amazed they got together so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, Omega said it still took them a couple months, but I feel like with how big the galaxy is and them being worried about sending big signals across, the galaxy, I think it's pretty lucky that they found each other still in only a few months, because they're trying to get rid of the ship now too. It all just kind of worked out in the last little bit before they had to worry about that again. But I don't know, I thought it was really nice to see also how the music in it and how they split it up of like, it's really happy and like coming back, time to celebrate. And then how it easily transitioned into this like music of just like unknown, where it's just like, is this going to be you can't tell if it's going to be like happy, sad reunion. If it's just, you gotta wait.
Yeah. It wasn't the usual sound that we hear with, Crosshair when we see just him. But, Omega and Wrecker reunited was fabulous. That was really awesome. Watching that big Hulk just kind of break down a little. It's so cute.
Yeah.
But then, the only thing I was really surprised at was the expressions that we had on Hunter and Wrecker. Because weren't they trying to find Crosshair, and that's how Tech died? So why are they so angry?
I don't know.
I think it's more like now they're all together and not. They have more time to talk essentially, and actually see, because the last time before that they really talked to each other was whenever Crosshair was still their enemy, and like had a face-to-face conversation. And now it's just kind of like, why have you been trying to reach out to us and get us to help save you?
Yeah, will Crosshair have kind of a prodigal son moment? It's way out there and did his thing with the Empire, and has he changed enough? Is the question. Is he going to be good with all of this?
Still so surprised that episode 4 of the season, they've brought the team back together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of screen time left of plot to not fill, but to like develop, so there's a big arc coming for the whole rest of the show that isn't, well, how do we get Omega and Crosshair out of Tantus? Because they got him out. We've finished that arc in 4 episodes. Obviously, the show isn't over, but like, what's the big thing that they're going to have to go back to Tantus for? Like, there's all this footage, in the trailers with them with like launching 50 rockets at Tantus down the bridge and that sort of stuff. And I'm like, they've got to get back there somehow. What's so important that presumably the whole batch is going back to storm the castle? What's it going to be?
Right.
Yeah.
So wait, that bridge scene, you feel like was on the same planet as Mount Tantus?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Like it was kind of like jungly, and it had like it looked like an Imperial bridge, Okay. I'm not sure though. I think it's Tantus. I think they're going to have to come back and storm the castle. But that's just my theory.
I mean, it would be fascinating if the whole place goes down, because then that would push everything to like Exegol or wherever the cloning operations will go next, here and there.
Yeah.
So
push it to like, Fortress Inquisitorius, would it be?
Mm-hmm.
They got to push it somewhere.
I mean, yeah, we've seen cloning tanks in a lot of locations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, or are they purposely now going to, instead of have a single location or a stronghold location like Mount Tantus, spread it around? So do you think the young clones from season 3 will maybe play back into the story, or you think they're just going to stay safe on the island?
They're living good life on the island. I don't think anyone would really want to leave, except the Bad Batch.
Just leave the boys surfing.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I almost don't want. I don't want there to be a big, come together moment with all the characters they've rescued. Because like, I want them to all kind of like go off into the wherever they are supposed to go. Mm-hmm. Just don't nuke Pabu. Don't do that. If you orbital bombard Pabu, all gloves are off. We're finding Dave Filoni and we're demanding answers.
It's bad enough when they had the big tidal wave, and I thought, wait, who started that? What's going on? I had so much suspicion. The vampire
you thought it was? Oh gosh, yeah.
It's like, okay, that was natural. So yeah, any other speculations on how you think it's all going to go? I have no idea what's going to happen next. And I love it.
I'm looking. I think the next step that's going to happen is we're going to see Hemlock sending out people, bounty hunters, to start tracking down Omega and getting her to squeeze, or at least show up somewhere. I feel like she has to do that. And whether or not that may be Boba Fett, that would be also a cool thing to see.
Cad Bane again.
Oh, Cad Bane again? Yeah.
And that's sort of where I think the Ventress is going to fall in, because she's sort of a bounty hunter, I guess. I don't know. She's somewhere in that non-ethical area of work. And I don't know. I think that's sort of where the next steps are going to be.
Oh, yeah. Boba Fett cameo would be great, though.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And also having that like brother sister,
that
interaction.
Would be a crazy moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it'd be one of those things where he's like got her in his sights, so to speak, and it's like, does he take the shot or not?
Mm-hmm.
But, don't leave it as a cliffhanger.
No. Don't cut to a different episode when she's in his crosshairs.
I mean, we never know with the Filoni movie. Could we have a Bad Batch, loose end that we have to wait for the movie to get tied up?
I have such a terrible suspicion that the only person who makes it out of this alive is Omega. That is my unfailing suspicion that only Omega makes it out of this whole series alive, and we see like everyone except Rex and a couple others, like people who are necessary in other plot lines like Rebels. We see like the whole Batch team, like Clone Force 99 dies somehow, and I don't know how, but I'm so nervous that that's going to happen. I think Omega's here to stay, though. She's like a fan favorite character at this point.
Yeah, I would love to see her grown up several years later make an appearance in a live action film.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Maybe they could use the Purgle, send them all off somewhere far away, and then bring them back.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she turns out Force sensitive, and maybe she turns out to be doing her thing elsewhere in the galaxy, and then boom, somehow Ahsoka trains Omega. Greatest ambitious crossover ever.
Yes. Oh, that'd be huge. I'd be so geeked on that. So any other wild speculations or thoughts or things that you enjoyed about the show?
I've really enjoyed this season just overall. I don't know. I feel like it has progressed really well, and I don't know. I feel like the writing's been well paced. I mean, a little quick on the whole leaving the planet, but it'd be pretty boring to have a 16-episode season of her just sitting doing the same task over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's done good, and I feel like the end of this episode was very much a cliffhanger to make me wish time moved faster.
Yeah, I'll be happy to see, how they're going to pick up next week. Hopefully they'll get right into where we left off. Who's going to speak first to who?
Right.
Is Crosshair going to say sorry? Is Wrecker just going to punch him? I
don't know.
Give him a good old headbutt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a headbutt? That'd be fun.
I'm looking forward to Batcher and
Batcher and Wrecker?
And Wrecker just romping around. Oh my goodness.
Batcher is the pet Wrecker.
Any other comments? Just hope for next week.
More episode now.
Yeah,
that is my last comment. Give us the next episode.
We're ready for more.
Yes, we're ready.
All right, well, that's all for this week. We'd love to hear your thoughts about this episode of Bad Batch. Please send us your comments by email, starwars@sqpn.com, or visit our channel on the StarQuest Discord community at sqpn.com/Discord. A lot of great conversations that just continue on the Discord community. We'd like to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create the Secrets of Star Wars, including Ingrid C., Thelma D., Bruce R., C. McD., and Paige K. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make this and all the shows at StarQuest possible. Please join them at sqpn.com/give. Until next time, Ryan, thank you for joining us on the show.
I will be waiting in anticipation for next episode.
And Josh, thank you.
Always happy to join.
I'm Kathryn Laffrey. Thank you for listening to The Secrets of Star Wars on StarQuest.
Here's another show on the StarQuest Network you're sure to enjoy. The Secrets of Doctor Who. Find the show wherever fine podcasts are found or at sqpn.com/Doctor Who.